Hi everyone, it's me, and today I'm going to play with the Gelli Plate, and I say I've got a heck of a glare if I don't sit forward, so I need to remember to sit forward. Okay, so today I'm going to be playing with my Gelli Plate, which you can see is black. I've been watching some videos on how to transfer images out of magazines to a Gelli Plate, and that's what I'm going to attempt to show you how to do today. I've learned a lot of lessons along the way, and I still can't get a good pull every time. So I think it's kind of a hit and miss. It depends on your magazines. Anything super high gloss is best from what I figured out. You can use the cheaper magazines. I've used pieces from them, but you have to be very careful. You've got to put the print down, smooth it out, and almost pull it right away, because since the pages are thinner, they tend to ripple, and once you get the ripple, you get a very, very bad effect. So I'm just going to show you some of the ones I had some success with. And this is the Colosseum in Rome. This was, I believe, taken out of one of the cheaper magazines. So I'm just going to hold these up because I've got it zoomed in right where I want it for the Gelli printing, as close as I can get. And this black here was something that was on the page, and it came out black, obviously. And this one I really like. This one, it's a lot darker than I think than the video is showing you, and that's because of the glare of the light. But isn't that cool? That one turned out really well. I was really pleased with that one. And I think this is probably about my 20th attempt. And then there's this one. Everybody likes this one. And I really wish I'd done the background in brown, because it would have been so cool for steampunk. And all this is a Lady Chanel watch ad. So you can get some pretty cool looking stuff out of this. Obviously, I've still got smudges and stuff in mine, and I'm still working out the bugs, but I'm getting there. This was a skull. I believe this was out of Smithsonian magazine. And it's a skull, and of course something like that would print good since I have no use for it. This is one where it partially worked, and that was pulling with a... I used a brown on the bottom for the under. This one's glaring because I have metallic paint on it. And I pulled it off with the copper paint. And then that shouldn't even be in there. And then this one I did last night, but I'm still, like I said, I'm still having problems with it. But I had some people who I work with that I put this on Facebook, and they thought it was cool. They wanted to see how it works. So I thought, well, I'll attempt to do a video. Now, I attempted to do a video yesterday, and all I had was problems. So we're going to try it again. From what I've learned from watching other people and what I've learned from doing this on my own, thicker, glossier magazines are best. I've got a piece of a calendar here also, which is really high gloss, and I'm not going to get it all on my Gelli Plate, obviously, because I only have a 5x7, but I'm going to try to pull part of the print off of that. The other day it almost worked, and I think it was the paint I used on the background. So you want a thin acrylic. Now I know, like, I was watching Shannon Green, and she used a thin, I can't remember the paint, Deco-Arts, I believe. And it's a thinner fluid acrylic. Now, I was using the Walmart cheapy apple barrel. It works, but it works better if you add some water to it before you lay it down. Then I've got these small tubes of Daler Rowney acrylic paint, and I added some water to that last night, and that's when I pulled the blue one with the lady. And I mean, at least you can clearly see her. There's still some problems with my technique, but you can still see her. When you have too many ripples on cheap paper, do I have that piece? I really need to look for that one, because this is what can go terribly wrong. Now see, here's another one I did where I got almost a really great pull. I just wish I hadn't used yellow, and I really didn't care for the subject matter, because I don't know these people. I mean, but you know, they're the best ones to pull off of the people because they show up the best. I tried animals. I had a problem with that. I don't know where that piece went. But I was going to show you what happens if you get too many ripples in your paint. And I know I had it with these, and I honestly, words seem to work out pretty well. If I hadn't used orange on this one and done, I think would have pulled up a lot clearer, so you could have really told what it was. And sure, I have that. Okay, here's an example. This is a mama elephant and a baby elephant. At least that's what it's supposed to be. But this was taken out of Smithsonian magazine, I do believe, or maybe it was some other was some other magazine that had thinner pages. Now every one of these little lines you see is where my paper rippled, because this was early on in my experiments and I knew the paper shouldn't ripple, but it was very thin and all of a sudden it just started rippling. So yes, this is the mama elephant and the baby elephant. So yeah, that doesn't work. Okay, my Gelli Plate is now black from doing all of this. This was a new Gelli Plate 2 weeks ago. It's now black. I can't get it off. I don't know what to use, so if anybody out there knows what to use to get this black off, I would appreciate it. Not that it bothers me, because I don't, it can be black if it wants to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to do this, and I have a brayer, and I've cleaned it off. Keeping a clean brayer seems to help a lot in this process, of course, like it does in all of our jelly printing, but in this one especially. And I have ordered another brayer because I have one more. It's a real cheap one though, and I don't like the way it works. So this is Speedball brayer that I picked up at a thrift store for $1.99. It had never been used, or at least it looked like it. So now I'm using it for something like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this just like I did the last one. And I'm not saying it's foolproof. I haven't worked with it a lot, but I'm going to put down some paint, and this is semi-thick paint. And then I'm just going to take my mini mister, squirt a few squirts of water on there, so I have the water around the paint. I think you can see that. And then I'm just going to take, and at first I'm going to be trying to do this girl. I obviously cut out something on the back of the page, so there's a cutout on it, but that's not going to matter. I don't believe. I'm just going to have a black spot next to her, and I'm going to lay this down, and I may have a little too much. Getting the amount of paint just right also is a trick. Now where I first laid the paint down, I have got what looks like a thumbprint. And it's just the paint, and so I'm trying to roll it out really good and really smooth, but I'm seeing that I've still got that imprint. So I'm pretty sure that is going to come out on my transferred image. I don't want it to. Maybe if I push a little harder, I'm really moving this paint around. Now what I've learned too, and this isn't going to be very helpful I'm sure, is you don't want too thick of a paint coat, but you don't want it too thin. So it's important to, if you think you have too much, I'd roll it off my brayer a little bit. You don't want it see-through so you can see your Gelli Plate. You don't want it too thick either. So then what I'm going to do, and this is a thinner magazine page, but it's black and white, and also keep in mind whatever color you use on your Gelli Plate is the color your print is going to come out. So if I were to use a blue, she would come out blue. I'm using a black and white, so she's going to come out black on here, and I don't know if you'll be able to see her or not. I've got her a little bit crooked. I'm pressing it down, and I'm pressing good, but I know that in a minute my paper is going to start to wrinkle, so I'm going to pull it up. If you can feel a little resistance and a little stick, that's better. Now she's on there. I think you can see her if I move back. See it? Now there's going to be a blemish there and one there because obviously I didn't have an even pressure. A lot of times I take the brayer and I go over it. And also realize whatever you use is ruined forever with this process. Now what I have to do, and this is the bad part, is let her completely dry. Because if I try to pull her up, well, it's still wet. I'm just going to have a muddy mess. So I'm going to sit here. Don't use a heat gun on these. If you have something like maybe an old hairdryer, I think that's what Shannon Green was using, where it's got a cool setting, go ahead and use it. But if you do not use heat on these. And I'm going to test the dryness by touching the side. I got to take a shower before I go to work anyway. So, and see, then I'm going to have this black spot over here where I'd cut out that piece. And the worst part of this is waiting for your subject to dry. It's going to take a lot more probably there where it's black because I got a lot more paint than on her. And I'm just going to dab off this side with I'm using a dry baby wipe because I don't really need that big black line there. And to find out if it's dry, you just got to kind of touch it. Hopefully with a clean spot on your fingers because I don't have one. I wouldn't know if this is dry or not because that corner is going to be my problem. And since I know that it is, I'm not left-handed, so hopefully this will work. So I know that it's just going to be a black spot. It's not going to hurt anything. I'm just going to push down, take a little of that paint off, and hopefully try to dry it. little bit to speed up this process. I hate to touch her because I don't want to leave a fingerprint. And I'm scared I will, but I do believe she's dry. I'm not getting anything on the clean part of my finger. I'm not using the messy part. This was supposed to be done for Make a Mess Monday yesterday, and I tell you what, it just wouldn't work. No matter what I did, it wouldn't work. Now it's finding the color you want for your background. I'm going to try peeling her off with a Apple Barrel Key West blue. I don't really want her blue, but right now I am limited on paint. So I'm going to put some paint out here, just run it across my Gelli Plate and over the top of my print. Get my brayer, which hopefully I've gotten most of the black off of. I always check when I leave it set to see if I have any chunks of paper on there because they're going to greatly affect my print. So here goes. And I'm just going to roll this out right on top. She is dry, so I don't have to worry about that. We're just going to roll it out right on top. And the more, I don't know what, the background paint is up to you. I am going to add a little bit more before that dries out. Because I just don't think I have enough. I can see her coming through it. And I mean, yep, and here I go, rolling my paint off. This happens quite often with me. So I don't think it matters if you have a real thin coat. I don't know if I'd go with a super thick coat. I've done it, it worked, but we're going to just go with this right now. And what I'm using are just pages out of an old book. So she's going to have printing on her because this side has some glue or something on it from when the book was made. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to press while I'm my Gelli Plate, and I'm pressing fairly hard because I want to make sure this paint sticks to this paper. So I've got that. Get the paint out of there. And I'm going to start to lift. And Shannon had a really good tip. If the paint is too runny underneath, you feel like it's going to come up really easy, then it's probably not taking. This is coming up pretty hard, but I should have had more paint in my background. That was my mistake, and I printed her off on where there's words, but I think you can see the effect. And I'm still perfecting this, but like I said, I had some friends who saw pictures I posted on Facebook, wanted to know how I did them. So the next one we are not going to pull with a paper that has writing on it. Got some sheets here. I have just a plain, and this, I just sat one day and went through an old book I was using, and I just ripped out, the pages that had like writing on maybe one side, and I'm just going to put some water in here to clean this off because I can still see her, and I might be able to get a ghost image of her. I'm not sure. I'm not going to pull it. I'm just going to attempt to clean this off as best I can. Like I said, this thing is black. If anyone knows how to get the black off of it, I would appreciate it. It doesn't really bother me too much that it's black, but I would really rather not have it be black. Sometimes it makes it a little hard to, I don't know, it doesn't really make it hard to do things with. It's just, I don't know, what annoys me. Kind of, sort of. All right. Now I've got this other lady. Now she's on a white background. Oops. She's on a white background, and I really don't think that makes too much difference. I'm not sure, and I haven't tried pulling anything this light, so we're going to see what happens. Once again, I think to show you, I'm going to pull her, try to do her in a dark brown. Again, I'm just going to, and you know, the paints, all your paints are different. If you're using a heavy body paint, I'd say definitely put some water with it. I am doing it with this kind of medium weight paint because to me it's too thick. If I tried to pull with this, I'm pretty sure I wouldn't get a good impression. So I give it about 3 squirts from my mini mister. It's just getting it down to where it's manageable. Oh, and see, I got blue on my, yeah, I didn't run my brayer off good enough. Oh, this could be interesting. That blue's gonna dry, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some more of the brown. I'm not sure what's gonna happen. I think she's gonna have a blue tinge to her if she comes out at all. Okay, this is interesting. I pulled a lot of boo-boos, but I've never done that one before. Completely forgot to clean the blue off my brayer. I'll go a couple more squirts of that. I'm going to attempt to lay the brown down over the blue. Oh, this paint's chunky. What happened? I've had to paint for a while, so I'm sure it's probably part of it. Okay, people, this is just going to be a for fun, funky print since I messed up. I've got paint in here. This is not real thick. And I have not tried pulling a print of anyone with, like, you know, darker skin, like Latino or African American or anything like that. I have not tried that. So since she's clear up at the top, I am going to put her right at the top of my jelly plate. And you want no ripples, no air bubbles, if possible. Sometimes I can feel them starting up in here, so I'm going to hurry up and work with that because I've got ripples starting right down there, and you will see the effect of it if this even works. Sticking to the plate, I always look at that as a good sign. But like I said, I have never pulled with a white background. Well, she's there. I'm not sure how much I'm going to really get. She's there. The image is brown. I've got to figure out some way that I can try this because... And I've got to get all the paint off my brayer. That would help. That would help a lot. I'm just going to pull in another piece of this paper over here, one of my fails. Well, I guess I kind of have a doily print on the back of that one now that I really like, and I've been using the back, so we'll use this. Make sure everything is off the brayer. This is the hard part, so waiting for it to dry because you're like, you see the print down there on the jelly plate, as you can see, and you get so excited going, yes, I got it. Then you have to wait for it to dry. And I am 100% sure she's pretty close to being dry. I'm going to touch her just a little. I can't tell. My fingers are a mess. Like I said, I got to take a shower before I go to work anyway. So, and I think I'm going to try pulling her off with pink. And in this case, I am just using the Walmart Apple Barrel. Because I really have a limited supply of paints. I tried using the Anita's paints, and I think they, from Hobby Lobby, they might need to be dimmed down a little bit because I was kind of having some problems. So I'm going to go ahead and try to lift her, and if she's not ready, you're going to see the results. So I'm going to put a little more paint on this time. Make sure the brayer is clean. Note to self, and this is a really bright light pink. It's kind of hoping to be more of a baby pink, but it wasn't. But my little granddaughter's always loves pink, so... And I'm getting some brayer lines in this, I can see that. And sometimes that seems almost inevitable. I know if you get your brayer cleaned really good, but it is so hard to clean in between your projects. So I'm going to clean a little bit of that off, take a little bit off. I mean, you can probably leave it thick like that. I just prefer to take a little bit more off. Alright. And I know I've got a brayer line in there, but I don't think it's going to show up, of course. So I just put my paper down again. I'm going to rub it really good over my print. And maybe this one won't turn out as good as the other one. And I'm saying as good because, like I said, I'm not, I'm still learning too. But I wanted to share for the sake of my friends who are asking me how you do this. Get that all off. So I do not have success every time, and I guarantee you probably won't either. Now this one's a little bit juicier because I had a little more paint on it, so I'm hoping it lifts. If it doesn't lift, well, yeah, see this one did not come out near as good. So this is what can happen. The paper wants to curl. This is what can happen. And since I used a white background, she's just mostly, just the darker things are going to show up. I like the ones that have, like where the people are dressed in darker clothes. I think that helps. Now the last one we're going to try is this clown guy. This is a calendar that was about wine. I don't know if I can get that paint off. I needed to get some baby wipes. I just went to the dollar store, and do you think I remembered them? Oh heck no, not me. I forgot to get some. But that's okay, I can always get some. I forgot some when I was at Dollar Tree, because I'd rather get 70 for $1 than, I don't remember how many you get in this one, but it's not that many for $1, so. Yes, I am cheap. But hey, when you're crafting, you can rack up a lot of money quick on a lot of things, so. I'm just going to wipe that down real good, real quick. And we're going to try this clown. Now, the last time I did it, I don't know exactly what happened, but I did not end up with the desired result. That's where I put it. And one last piece of old book page, and that does have something in the back of it, so that might show through. Since this didn't work out perfect the last time, we'll see. I am using paints that, like I said, I have, and you can do that. You don't have to buy special paints for this project. There's no exact science to it. You have a lot of fails, but hey, it's just, backgrounds for other things, Use your Gelli plate for, or you can print over the top of it. You can, I've got that spot right there in the middle of this plate. And I've got a lot of paint on there, so I'm going to take a little bit off. Waste a bit of paint, but see, I've got this spot on my Gelli plate now. What is wrong with it? Probably from having so much paint on it. Alright, I've got it worked out to where I think I want it. So now I'm going to try to put this guy on there. I hate clowns. I hate clowns of all types. My little granddaughter, oh my god, she's afraid of them. We were in Hobby Lobby one day in the kids' craft section, and all of a sudden she screamed and grabbed her mother. And I'm like, what is wrong with this child? Well, you also want to make sure that you stick your print down good, because when you're going through the rubbing process, it can move. And that's another reason I try not to use too much paint. And I probably should use a little more because I'm not getting as dark of prints as I would like. So, I don't know, it's hit and miss, and I'm in the experimental stage. But, oh my god, and I asked my daughter, I said, what is wrong with her? And she goes, she hates clowns, Mom. She's scared to death of them. And obviously, she is very scared. I am going to have a lot of splotches. Do you see these little things here? They're going to come out as splotches. Because I obviously didn't get an even press, or it's what I'm using. I can see his face, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be how not to do a print. So we're just going to let him dry. Like I said, he's got a lot of splotches on him. So everywhere those marks are, let me back off. Okay, there's one over here that's noticeable. Everywhere that is, you're going to have a white spot. You're not going to get a good pull. So let's look at this one as how not to do this, what to watch out for, what to be careful with, because you are going to end up with white spots wherever you have one of those splotches. And I had one I did, and it turned out terrible. It was a lady's face, and you could hardly see her face, but you could see where her nose was. And when I did this, I had two of those white splotchy things, or these splotches. They came out white, and they looked like eyes, and it was really creepy. So yeah, we're going to have those there, and there's going to be a group of them over here. And I mean, if it wasn't on your main focal point, it would be, it probably would just add some texture. However, if it's on the face or anything like that, it's going to not be so good. I was going to use my yellow, but the yellow in here is like pouring milk. It's just that thin. So what I'm going to be using is a bright green. I've got one little black splotch that isn't dry, and I'm going to try to dry that because I just need to get this video done. I've got a lot to do before I go to work, and if YouTube will be kind and load it, I'm probably going to have a black splotch right there too when I do this, but I'm going to try to pick it up with this bright green paint. And so this paint isn't even that old, and it's already got what I call paint butters, Okay, so we're going to try this. This is probably going to be a massive fail, but massive fails are good because we learn from them. So it's not really a failure, it's a learning process. I used to think everything that I did that was even a little bit wrong was a failure. And you can see where that black spot is. That's going to show too. So by all means, let it dry thoroughly before you attempt to pick up your print. Clean up the brayer a bit, take a little more off because I couldn't see him very well coming through there. So let's do that. Let's pull this down, and let's do an absolutely what not to do. I'm going to push it down so that I know it's in the paint and it's stuck before I start rubbing. And I'm going to rub him hard. He's probably not going to turn out. So it's just hit and miss. I've gotten some really nice prints. I've gotten some really bad prints, like elephants where you couldn't tell they were elephants. It's hit and miss, but basically this is the basic part of the process. I'm going to lift it up. Is it sticking? Is it too... I'm going to put that thing back down that corner. And I mean, some of the really good ones I got, it was sticking to the jelly plate, or it was lifting the jelly plate up and I had to hold it down. So we're going to see what we end up here with this. And this is sticking really well. You don't want it to get so sticky though that you rip your paper. And we have liftoff. And though I could see him good, he did not come out well. You can kind of see his face. The best part that came out was here where he was splashing in the wine. And see all those? Those are mistakes. Every one of those little bullseye looking bubbles is a mistake. In this case, if it was wine ad, it wouldn't be so bad. However, yeah, he did not show up, which is the same problem I had with the last one. So I'm assuming you can do calendars. It just depends on what your background or whatever's like. Anyway, that is the process of how I do it. It's not necessarily my successes. Like I said, I've had some turn out beautiful. It's just hit and miss. This is not a fail. This is a learning process, and I am still learning. But to those of you, my friends on YouTube or Facebook who inquired, this is what I do. It's basically how I do it. Some I just needed, I think, a little more background paint, like on the girl in blue, and she didn't come out really well printed with words, but then again, it's kind of like a ghost image of her. It's not too bad. The girl in pink, I believe, honestly, it was the white background, and possibly I needed a little more paint. Maybe I needed to leave it on there a little bit longer. This, like I said, it is what it is. I thank you all for joining me today. I hope you somewhat enjoyed this, because it wasn't perfect. But we aren't. That's one thing we all need to remember. We're not perfect. It's not going to work out perfect every time. But if you have what you consider a fail, which I kind of consider this, turn it around and say, hey, I learned something today. So you're not failing. You're learning. All right. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you all have a good day. Bye-bye.